Again, hello, welcome to Hatty Waiver Wire Guru, getting ready to go to week 3, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some sleepers that you might be able to find on your waiver wire, or guys that hopefully you picked up from the waiver wire article that I want you to start for this week. Again, I'm not doing waiver wire videos because now I'm giving you so many waiver wire choices, the video would be too long. So here we go, I'm going to give you some quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, and tight ends. First, let's start with the quarterbacks. Let's start with Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson in Seattle, he's been doing pretty well, putting up pretty solid fantasy numbers. Someone you want to keep an eye on. If you have an underperforming or injured quarterback, you're going to want to go with Russell Wilson this week. And let's hope that he puts up multiple touchdowns this week. Next, I want you to take a look at Andrew Luck. I talked about him a couple weeks back, also last week. Definitely, when the Colts get behind, they have to throw. They have not been worried about giving Luck a number of throws. We've seen upwards of 50 attempts in some games. So Andrew Luck is definitely solid for fantasy production. Moving on to running back, we'll start with Alfred Morris in Washington. He's getting the load of the carries. He's putting up good numbers. He's finding the end zone. It's the perfect combination, and that offense is moving. So Alfred Morris is still a good starter for you. Moving on, Ahmad Bradshaw is going to be out. Not sure how long, but Ahmad Bradshaw, if you get to see this video, is out to start Andre Brown against the New York Giants. Next, Mikel LaShore is off suspension. He's a running back in Detroit. If you need a running back, go ahead and pick him up. If you need to gamble, you can go ahead and start him this week. He should be splitting the load with Kevin Smith. I'm expecting about 15 touches from LaShore, and hopefully he gets in the end zone. Next, we'll move on to wide receiver. You have Brandon LaFell. He's really showing us some nice consistency, and that makes him somebody that we can start, rely on. I'm expecting about 75 yards and a potential for a touchdown here on Thursday night. Moving on to Michael Crabtree from San Francisco. You know, that would be somebody that has just been consistently putting up numbers. Him and Alex Smith tend to find each other. He's the go-to wide receiver in San Francisco, and San Francisco is finding a way to move that ball. So Michael Crabtree is someone to look at. If you're in a PPR league, Brian Hartline, he's being targeted a ton in Miami. So Brian Hartline for PPR leagues, followed up by Danny Amendola from St. Louis, another PPR guy. Really got a ton of looks last week, hoping for a repeat this week, especially if Steven Jackson doesn't go. They're going to have to throw the ball. So Danny Amendola would be somebody else to take a look at starting this week. Finally, we're going to move on to your tight ends. The first one is Coby Fleener. Really like to see him do some work this week, really get some targets now with Austin Collie on the field. Also, with Reggie Wayne, you know, Coby Fleener is somebody that you can look towards. Also, Owen Daniels, we talked about him the other week. He's finding it, you know, when he's healthy, Schaub looks his way, and, you know, he is somebody that if your tight end is underperforming, you know, Owen Daniels. And finally, one of the most targeted tight ends in the NFL is Dennis Pitta. Dennis Pitta should be somebody that you should target, pick up, and start. With that many targets, you know, he's an excellent starter. So those are your sleepers for week 3. If you need some rankings, head over to hattywaiverwireguru.com. If you have any questions, you know, go to Facebook, Twitter, or Google+, and I will answer you. Just go ahead and put something on the wall, and I'll go ahead and answer any questions that you have. Good luck in week 3, and that's it. Let's go win some games.